Live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios and the Gurkha Cigar Studios in the great state of New Hampshire. Welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Pat Chamberlain.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco of SmokinTabacco.com, and I'm joined once again by my very good friend and co-host and colleague, Mr. Pat Chamberlain. Pat, how are you, brother?
Doing well, how are you?
You know, I'm a little extra fatigued. Sorry, I'm just doing a couple of things for the show here. I'm a little extra fatigued. I've been working in the heat a lot lately, and so I'm just starting to feel it. Busy, but good. Can't believe it's already July. Is it second week of July now? Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Where does the time go, Patrick? I mean, seriously.
It goes by quick.
It does. The older we get, the faster it goes. And I know I'm preaching to the choir to all the much older people out there, but damn. I think I'm just at the age where I really started to realize it, you know? It's really like it's sunken in. I'm like, oh shit. Like, it's already Wednesday night. Tomorrow's Thursday. It's already the second week of July. It really is. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's sad because it's like we're just past halfway of the year. But yet I feel like this year has been like 3 years already. It's been such a long year, at least for me. And I know probably for you. You've been busy too with you know, your regular job with trials and stuff like that. But you know, you're out there. You're cleaning up the streets, Pat.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget that. You're doing God's work. You're cleaning up the streets. Oh, is that some wine?
It is wine, yeah.
Oh, that's
doing
nice.
wine today.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you were a wine guy.
Yeah. Every now
Yeah?
and then. I'll divulge.
Like enough where you could talk about it, or just you have like a couple you like and that's it?
I mean, like, I'm not... If you put me with a sommelier, no, but, I mean, I know... Like, I studied a little bit about wine when I was at Twins, so I know a little bit about it. I don't know anything to get a certification.
Oh, that's cool though. I mean, you know probably more than the average person at least, right? I like wine. You know, and I don't drink as much as I used to, and a lot of it it comes down to, you know, at the end of the day when my day's finally over after working and, you know, having home time with the wife and my daughter and stuff like that, it's like I just get up I take my shower, I get into bed, and I'm like, you know, I'm not even doing this. Drink my water, I go to sleep. And that's just it, you know? And then when I do have other time, like on the weekend, I'm like, if I start drinking now, I'm going to fall asleep early. And as much as it sounds nice, it's like my one night to stay up and do shit or get stuff done. And then I don't. I know. I'm turning into like just this cranky old man. I'm not even that old. And I don't know. It'll come back to me. My time will return again, where I can drink a lot and stuff like that. But I will say, everything everyone told me, they were right. They were right. Give everyone their moment. If you ever gave me advice about being a parent or whatever, yeah, you were right. Tired. But yeah, no, it's another week. John Carney was on with us last week, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to catch up with him and kind of hear what he's been had going. He's another one who's been balls to the wall. He's always been busy, but it's been a year now, right? A little over a year since, you know, his
I think
departure
you
from
said
LFD.
last week was the year anniversary of him.
Oh, that's right. He did. You're right. So it's been a year, and in that time, I mean, he's just been balls to the wall. I mean, he's, you know, everything with Bentley, getting that up and going and getting it out there, and, you know, then getting it launched. And now he's got Putin Young that he's working with, and I know he has some other outside of those entities. I know he has other stuff he's doing and working on, and which I won't say because, you know, it's not public information yet. But I know he's got some stuff cooking, and he's got some stuff he wants to do, and he's another one. You know, he's just been going at it. But good for him. I mean, so far it's working, you know. Yeah, sometimes that's the only time we get to hang out is if I'm like, hey, you want to come on and be a guest on the show? Unfortunately, these days. But no, it was great to have John on last week. Thank you everyone for watching. Everyone who played along with the giveaways and all that other fun shit we did. It was awesome. Your stuff's going out this week with the holiday last week, and I had a lot of plans and I had a lot of downtime with family. But this week all that stuff's going out, so we should see it soon. Trying to think what else was like kind of noteworthy in the last 7 days. It was 4th of July, which was cool. I mean, I was at my parents' house. They had a big thing. Went pretty good. Got to drink much later in the night, so I did get to drink actually for once, but I didn't drink as much as I wanted to, but that's neither here nor there. But I did get to. I had the bourbon flowing. I got my dad to try it. I was just drinking.
By drinking?
Yeah. So my dad's not a big drinker. He's never had a cigar with me, which I don't like harass him about because I never want to be like an asshole about it. I'll make him feel like he has to. It's not something I really let bother me. It's his thing. But someday it would be nice. But just to paint the picture, he won't smoke. He doesn't do any of that. He growing up never drank. I mean, like if everyone was at a thing and everyone had a drink, he'd be like, "Can I get a lemonade?" And it's not because he had a drinking problem or anything like that. He never had any issues. He just was never about it. The only time you'd ever see, like when I was growing up, the only time you'd ever see him drinking was when he was in like a situation where he would just feel like obligated to like have a beer with people because like he was in a certain setting and he'd be like, "I'll take a Bud Light," and it was like, oh, the Bud Light's out. He must, this must be special because he, but over the last few years he's dabbled a little bit more. Like he'll drink certain things. Like he'll drink like rum cocktails if like they go out. He has developed an affinity for Coors Light. Now while he doesn't pound them all the time, like in social situations of 3 or more people, and especially if someone else has a beer going, he'll have a Coors Light. I don't know what it is. He just loves Coors Light now. But we were at their house. We got Anastasia down for bed, and then I went back outside, and I had a cup with ice and I think it was just Buffalo Trace, just no mixer, just straight, just Buffalo Trace ice, and I was just drinking it, and it was good. It's Buffalo Trace, it's Buffalo Trace. It's good. And my dad comes up to me, and he said something to me, and I was like, "Here, try this," and he was like, "Whoa, what is it?" And I was like, "It's iced tea. Just drink it." And he was like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Just drink the fucking thing." And he took a sip, and he's like, "Whoa, what is that? Just straight whiskey?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what it is." And he's like, "Oh, man." He's like, "You just drink it like that?" I go, "Yeah, all the time. That's how I drink it." He's like, "Ah." Walked away, did that whole thing, and I'm like, all right, got him to sip some whiskey. That was interesting. But 45 minutes later, somebody whips out a cooler with a bunch of Dr. McGillicuddy's nips, root beer, peppermint. Never liked the peppermint, but the root beer, all right. So they're being handed around, and Nicole's brother showed up. So then he's like, I'm gonna do this. So we're all cracking nips, and my dad stumbles over, and I'm like, huh. And I just see him come over with interest, like, "Oh, what are they doing?" And I'm just like, "This is gonna be fucking hilarious." And he comes over, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, wouldn't you love to know?" And then someone's like, "Hey, you like root beer?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I love root beer." And they give him one. And he's like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "Just drink it." And he's like, "Well, wait." I go, "Just open it up and drink it. It's root beer." And he's like, "I don't know. This doesn't look like a root." I'm like, "Just open it up and drink it." And he's like, all awkward and nervous. I'm like, "Come on, like, I'm not giving you cyanide." He cracks it open, and he drops it back. I'll give it to him. He didn't just go like he dropped it back, and he's like, I actually really like that. And I was like, what did you just say? And he was like, I really like that. I'm like, do you? And he's like, yeah, what is that? I go, it's McGillicuddy, it's root beer. It's got booze in it? I go, yeah. It's a nip. Oh, yeah, well, I like that. That's pretty good. And I go, oh, all right. So then I told my mom, I'm like, you're going to have to keep sleeving nips in the house now. Apparently he likes those. So he's starting to, expand a little bit. I don't know. And I told him, like, it only took you until you were 60 years old to start, trying more, alcohol, just in general. So I don't know. I'm hoping to build on this for his sake. I mean, he's getting old, and he's got to stop being so uptight. He's got to let loose, get wild. I've seen my mom shit-faced a handful of times. Not, she's not only a handful of times over the last, 15 years. But my dad, no, never. And now I have this new goal. And I know what some people are going to say, like, oh, you shouldn't. Fuck off. I know my story, okay? Just let me have this. My new goal is to see my dad get, not thrown up in the bathroom all night, but, pretty damn drunk at least once before he dies. He's getting up there, and it's not like he's going to die next week, but, he's 60. Things happen, and one of my goals is to just see him get pretty drunk before he goes, just so I could say, yeah, I saw it once, I also just want to see how he would be. Everyone's different, so I want to know how he would be. So oh. So that's on my list. I mean, having a cigar with him is on my list too. That's definitely on my list. But I think that getting him drunk at this point seems a little bit more feasible than getting him to have a cigar. He's just not about it. He doesn't hate on it. He doesn't shit on it. He knows it's a big part of my life, and he's always been great about it. He shows interest. He asks questions. It's not anything like that. It's not like he's like, how could you do that? He's genuinely interested. But I'm like, why don't you try it? He'd be like, yeah, no. Like, missing out. And something tells me he'll try it. He'll be like, huh, it's actually not that bad. And then he'll try it again and again. And then it'll be like, hey, do you have any of those what are they called? Can I get a box of those? I feel like that's how it would go. But I don't know. I digress. You're lucky. See, your dad drinks with you and he smokes with you. It's nice. But, someday. I'm not giving up yet. Someday. That's my soapbox for the week. It's my dad. Trying to get my dad to do some more recreational activities with me. Anyway, what do we got going on here? What are we smoking? Let's see. Our cigars, once again, brought to you by, that's right, the number 2, guyscigars.com. Head over there today for an amazing selection of cigars and accessories from brands you know and love, and maybe a few new ones. Order some stuff today. Support those guys. They support us. The number 2, guyscigars.com. Pat, what are you smoking this week? What do you got? Anything new? Anything fun? Anything interesting?
Nothing new. The age limited rare 2, Rocky Patel.
That's one of my favorite Rocky Patel cigars.
Yeah, it's this in the 60. This is probably a little more than the 60. Well, the Conviction's my favorite, but I don't really count that because that's not like a regular off, whatever. But yeah, the age limit rare is my favorite from them. It's a good, upper shelf price point. Most people it's like $20. Well, in New Hampshire it's like 17, but with tax and everything closer to 20.
Yeah.
It's a good cigar. I enjoy it.
I agree. I think it's a great cigar. Uncle Larry heard 2 Guys is changing their name. I didn't hear that. That's got to be a joke. Why would they do that?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Uncle Larry, elaborate. If that's not a joke, or at least if it's a rumor you heard, provide more information. I don't know. I have to verify that. That's some interesting stuff. That's some interesting stuff right there. Brent, you have to get him some not your. You know what's funny? I thought about that briefly, and then I forgot about it. You have to get him some of your not your father's root beer. Yeah, I'm gonna do that actually. That's a great idea. ease him into it, you know? I'm going to get him those, and I won't even tell him. I'm just going to be like, hey, I got this new craft root beer. I've been crushing it. Here, try it. And over like, oh, okay. I'm not even going to tell him. And just let him kill one. And if he doesn't notice, I'll be like, here, have another one. And just keep on going until he figures it out. I don't know. I saw Dave on an interview saying it. Interesting. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet.
Why would he change his name? For 40 years, Two Guys Smoke Shop. He's built a whole life on this. I don't know. Something tells me it's bogus. Something tells me this is Dave being Dave. I think it was on the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. Okay. I don't usually watch that show, but I'm going to have to find that episode. Thank you for the intel, Uncle Larry. Stumbled upon it. Okay. I'm going to have to figure that out. Thank you for the intel. Vince is with us. Vince is smoking a Room 101 Farce. Those are great. Which one, though? There's multiple farces. All of them pretty good, but some better than others. I'm smoking a Tatuaje. This is from the SNS kit, the yearly SNS pack that comes out, and I believe this is the short version of the. Is this the Drac? No.
Let me see it.
Jason?
Is it a red? Is it red and green?
It's just red. The light's throwing it off. It's just a red.
That's the Drac. Yeah.
It's the Drac. Yeah. Actually no. This is from 2 years ago, or last year. Yeah, this is from the. I get confused because like 25 hasn't come out yet. So yeah, this is the last 24 we got the Corojo ones. This is from 23. Yeah, this is from 23. I still have a few of them left. And I love this size. And they did the Corojo in this size for the SNS kit last year, the 10 count bundle. These are great, and I'm hoping that he does another 10 count of something in this size this year, because these are great. I mean, I'll like it either way, but these are, I like this size. Which, speaking of Tatuaje, I think there was some. Oh yes, the L'Atelier Côte d'Or, I believe, started shipping. That's heading out, I believe. I want to say I saw something about that. Let me double check. I got an email from Dan.
No, yeah, that is starting to ship.
Did you guys get it at Twins?
Not that I've seen, but I'm sure it's coming. I mean, they definitely ordered it.
And the Surrogate's backline. So both of those are now getting ready to ship out.
Yeah, I'm sure within the week they'll have it. I mean, they might have gotten it today. I wasn't there today, but as of yesterday, I didn't see it.
There's a My Father event happening close by tomorrow night, and I'm doing everything I can to try to be there. So if you're local, Castro's, Bedford, New Hampshire, meet me there. There'll be a My Father Cigars event with none other than the New England rep, Mr. Darren Hill. Great guy. I haven't been to a lot of events in recent memory just because of everything I've been dealing with here, but I'm trying to get back out there now, and so I'm going to go to that one. Last event I went to was the Perdomo launch event. Not even like the dinner, like at the store. So I'm shooting to go to that one tomorrow. That's on my schedule. My schedule, as our friends across the pond call it. But as always,
My Father there.
What'd you say?
Are they gonna have the blue there?
That's a great question. It
hasn't shipped yet, so I don't know.
I was gonna say I don't think it ships until next month. I think, but maybe by now there's more samples for the reps, and so maybe a certain rep that we all know and love very much will have some. That's probably the best answer I could give you, which I probably shouldn't have said publicly, but that's okay. I'm just spitballing, but maybe. But yeah, because I don't think it's shipped, but Darren might have some. By now, he's got to have some, so maybe. We'll see. So yeah, I would definitely ask him. Be like, yo, you got those blues? Because I heard they were good, and they are good. I've smoked it. It's great. Coop's like, I don't know yet. We'll see. But put money on it. Put money on it. October 13th, 16th, middle of October, I get a text from Coop sometime around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, you were right about My Father Blue. These are really fucking good. And I'll be like, yep, told you. I'm putting it down. I'm putting it on record because I know my history with him when it comes to new stuff and sharing thoughts. I have a winning record right now where he comes around, he's like, "Ah, you're right." I'm like, "I know." So, that one's on my list of like I told you so's. So, read it and weep. And if you don't, I don't know. I should make this interesting. Next spare notes, I should put I should put a wager down. I should put like a real wager down that if by the end of October, when you're starting to like review for, or like whenever his like deadline is when he starts reviewing for like his end of the year cycle, November 1st or it's something around there. But like if by that time or whenever you're done with your list, before the list comes out, like if you don't come back around and be like, you know what, you were right. You don't have to tell me it's on the list or anything, but just say like you were right. I'm gonna make a wager with him. I'm gonna make this interesting because something tells me he's gonna come around. Yeah, I have a few ideas, but I'm gonna keep it close to the vest until it's time to let it out. Once again, as always, our friends from SC Dupont help us cut and light our cigars. That's right, SC Dupont, shake up the legacy with the new Fender collection. That's right. Of the collections they've released as of late, this one is perhaps one of my favorites. The monogram collection that we previously were showing off is really cool. I like it. It's a clean, modern, fresh look for Dupont. The Fender collection's cool though too. I mean, I'm a huge music guy. I'm a huge rock guy. Love guitars. The styling on this is fantastic. I like the little details that they did. It's really beautiful. If you're a music guy, especially if you're a Fender guy, you have to have this. It's a limited edition, so they're not going to be around forever, but you got to definitely check this out. They're fantastic. SC Dupont, shake up the legacy. And Pat's got the Slimmy over there too, which is funny because originally Pat was all about the Biggie, and they were going to give him a Biggie, and then he got the Slimmy, and he was like, nah, I like the Slimmy. So now Pat's over there rocking the Slimmy, as is Coop, actually. Coop has the Slimmy as well, which is almost the same lighter, just a little bit thinner and the slightly smaller flame, but essentially they both have the flat flame, which is getting so popular right now amongst cigar smokers and others that use them. They are getting really popular. And I like them, actually. I like the way they light, and they're great for touching up. They're great. Anyway, back to our show. I almost clicked the wrong button there. Sorry about that. Yeah, so anyway, let me go back to the comments here. We had a question. Or I thought no, maybe we didn't. I thought we did. Brent just said, I thought he asked about the My Father Blue. I'm really looking forward to trying the My Father Blue. Yeah, that's going to be good. Honduran, out of the Honduran factory. Really excited to see what people's thoughts are on that one. That one's on my list as we creep closer and closer towards the end of the year. I already have a mental checklist of several cigars, most of which I have smoked, so I've already kind of confirmed this. But there's a few that I haven't smoked just because they're not out yet, and I haven't grabbed samples of it yet. But just history tells me to be optimistic about them because the brand is heavy, such as Steve Saka. Some of his stuff that hasn't been out, has not been released yet, is kind of unofficially on that list because something tells me that history tells us it's gonna hit. So that's on there. But I've talked about a few of them. The Perdomo Legacies are hitting really well. Some of Pete's stuff is hitting really well. The My Father Blue is hitting well. The Aladino 85, I've smoked a couple of those now, and I'm really high up on that cigar. I really like that cigar. The La Aurora the new La Aurora that came out at the show. Is the Family Creed, I think they call it. That one's high on my list so far. I really enjoyed that cigar. So yeah, there's a lot of them out there, and I'm excited because it's gonna be an interesting year. The last 2 years have been as interesting putting the list together. I mean, last year Perdomo was a clear winner, but then everything down from there was kind of tricky. You know, like the top 10's always tough because they're all so close. And then after that, it's kind of like, all right, what are we doing here? But this year, I think it's going to be a fun year to put the list together. So, what have you smoked so far, Pat? Or do you have like a handful that you're like already favoriting as like your favorites for the year? I mean, I know you smoke a lot of stuff, you know, as it comes into the store. You're pretty on top of the new releases.
Yeah, I mean, everything that's come out so far, I've had. I mean, no, Saka hasn't shipped anything yet, other than the Year of the Duque.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, everything else has been good. The most recent releases we got were the Tatuaje re-release of the 7th Tupla, and then the Corojo 7th. The Corojo 7th I thought was really good.
Me too. I really like. Actually, I think I have one.
Yeah, so those just came in. I mean, the 85 Aladino's good. We had the Year of the Snake, Rocky, that was good. The 30 is gonna be good.
Oh, where is this the humidor I had it in?
So I mean, everything's been good so far. The Fratanga from Saka, I mean, it hasn't shipped yet, but samples were given out at the trade show. That's a really good cigar. I'm looking forward. I think that's gonna, subjectively score high for me this year. But I haven't. I mean, I've said this a couple of times now. Like, I haven't had a bad cigar yet that's come out. I mean, in the past years, I've had something that, I can say that wasn't great.
Sure, I agree. Yeah.
But I haven't had anything that I thought wasn't a good cigar, which is weird because I usually have something I can name that I can critique. But even the EPC Pledge of Allegiance that came out this year, I know like that's like the most shit on cigar by me this past year from last year. But
oh, I mean, yeah, how was the 2025?
They rebounded. I mean, it still doesn't even touch year one, but I can't say anything like I can't shit on it, I guess, for lack of better words, because of it didn't have the construction issues. The wrapper wasn't like silk thin. I mean, they changed the blend this year, presumably, maybe because they couldn't get the tobacco. I don't know what the scenario was, but they did change the blend. It's tweaked.
They heard your feedback.
Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, I'm not the only. A lot of people were loud about that one.
Yeah,
I mean, it was across the board. And then they came out with. Let me see. I think I have it in my box. Because 2 years ago, or no, last year they did the Perfecto, which this year they also did a Perfecto, but they have a little bit of a. Maybe I don't have. Oh yeah, it's right here.
Oh, not to cut you off.
Like
oh, that's a 25? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the limited size they did this year. Well, more limited than the Toro, at least.
Let's also not forget, you reminded me when you said EP Carrillo, the Endure, which you reviewed earlier in the year and scored very high. So that one's also a heavy contender, as is Bandolero Premium, which also scored very high by you. Those two are up there. I've smoked the Endure. I liked it a lot. I'm into it. I haven't had Bandolero Premium yet, which I'm due to grab some. But almost everything else I've smoked.
Yeah, I know Coop had the Premium, and he concurred with how good it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I smoked the Premium. I mean, I had one as recent as last week. I probably had smoked it like 10. I should have just bought a box of them.
You've already smoked like 10 of those?
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's a great cigar. Every time I've smoked it, I haven't had like a bad construction. It has like a tight ash. It gets performed well. It's I think from consistency, it's probably I'd say right now it's my number one this year because it's. I mean, when you smoke 10 of them and they're all that good, it's kind of tough to knock it. I think I gave it like I don't know if it was a 95 or a 96. It was like an extremely high score. And I don't think I've had if I rescored it based on any of the samples I smoked since then, I don't this score wouldn't change. It's just as good. So yeah, I'm really impressed with that cigar. I'm hoping I mean well yeah, I guess I hope they keep making it. I think it's limited. I don't know if it's going to be like an annual thing or if it's going to be like a allotment.
The
Whatever
Bandolero
this,
Premium?
yeah.
I think it'll be a continuing release. It's just most of Selected Tobacco's cigars are all very limited production. And if in Oliver listens and Dave listens, they'll correct me. I'm trying to make a real strong estimate here, if that's the word I want to use. But I'm pretty sure, outside of anything that's specifically labeled limited edition, which even then, I believe all their standard releases, like Atabey, Byron, Afonso, the Bandolero Premium, I believe, is in this category. I believe everything's limited to 200 boxes per size or whatever. I believe it's like 200 boxes or something like that. Or it's like maybe a few more than that, like a couple hundred boxes. But if I remember correctly, it's every year there's just a small amount released, but they're always in production. I'm pretty sure that falls in that category. He might make more in Bandolero. I don't know about Bandolero Premium, but like the standard Bandolero line, he might make more of those.
I think it's like a core line. I don't think there's like any limitation to just regular Bandolero.
Because I believe like the Atabeys is only like a few, like every size. Like he only makes a few hundred boxes per year, if I remember correctly.
I think it's like it used to be. I want to say like it's more like regular production now. Because I remember it used to be impossible to get Atabey, but it seems like now Twins can. I mean, some of them might get back ordered, but there's more on the way. It's So I don't. I mean, the premium's definitely different because I think Twins got like 3 boxes of each, and I mean when they're gone, as of right now, what I know,
what up,
they're
Chuck?
gone. So, but no, that's definitely whoever's listening, get it while you can because I mean,
oh yeah,
the cigar that good, at least within the years I've been smoking, it's very good. And I like it more than the Atabey. I mean, it's subjective. A lot of people love the Atabey, but it's the same kind of shock factor as when you have the Atabey for the first time. It's just a different cigar, different tier. And I mean, there's still so many cigars that haven't come out, and I mean, I think Fuente is going to have really impressive products, but
that's
again,
true too. I forgot about them. Yeah, they got some big shit coming out.
Unfortunately, I mean, I hope they're accessible to get, but with Fuente, it's tough to say that. But I'm sure what they're doing, like that Anejo, I think is going to be unreal. I feel like I heard somebody had those Anejos, like they shipped to somebody or someone had them. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I saw something, and I didn't think they actually came out yet.
Or like someone got them by accident.
I wouldn't say accident. I mean, I don't know. It could have been like an online retailer, and sometimes they make a SKU for it, make it look like it's being sold, but it's
they
not.
Pre-sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of those guys that are like they specialize in selling Fuente stuff, especially their limited products. And if they know like we always get something, or like they know they bought it, or because sometimes they don't. Sometimes some of their stuff, it's not like you go to the show and you order it. Some of it is just you order a bunch of shit and then it just shows up in your allocation. You're like, oh, I got a box of this. So depending on whatever, yeah, you're all right. There's a handful that come to mind that know like, oh, we know we're gonna get this, and they'll sell it ahead of time, and they'll make their money, and then when it comes in, they'll just send it to you. But they want the money now. They don't want to wait. So
yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I get it, but like,
Yeah, so there's still a lot of good stuff coming out. I mean, Saka is going to have, like, again, the Fratanga, it's going to be a good cigar. And then Fuente, um, yeah, I mean, there's other notable brands too. I just, when I'm off the cuff, can't always name them all, but
The
I mean, there's definitely.
the aging room concerto. I liked that one a lot too.
That was good. We had that.
That's on my list.
Yeah.
And
And then,
the Romeo 150.
oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. Yeah, that's unbelievable. I had that. I've had it a few times now. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot about that. That's really good. It's a nice Sumatra Maduro. Coop hasn't. I don't know if Coop did or didn't have it. Maybe he did because I know he like kind of doesn't like Sumatra, and I told him that I feel like he would like that cigar. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely some good stuff coming out. I'm excited to see, and then the Night Commander from Foundation, whenever that ships again.
Oh yeah,
Said
you guys have been talking about that one a lot.
it's so good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
weird because, I think there were. I don't think. Yeah, none of the new Foundation stuff shipped. They weren't really releasing a lot of stuff. I mean, there was a couple. Like he has his
Well,
event
don't forget
packs.
he also suffered some losses with the AJ Fernandez fire.
I know, but I mean, he wasn't really transparent about whether or not that impacted any of the new releases. So it's one of those like you don't know if it's delayed. There's nothing being said about it because of the fire, or if it's just he's kind of it's not shipping yet. But I would suspect there's probably an issue from the fire.
I do remember with at least specifically. I know there was others. Like I know Olmec was impacted, but his new the is it his 10th anniversary release he's doing, the one that's like Foundation 10th anniversary?
Yeah.
I believe that one he had said like we suffered loss with that. Which I believe I have to go back and look at the write up from the show because it's been a few months. That might have been just packaging. I could be wrong, but I know he mentioned that one. Like it was right after. And he's like, yeah, these were we had a setback with these from the fire. There was something else. Oh, Room 101's Johnny Tobacco 10th anniversary. That one was impacted by the fire. There's a lot of them. But yeah, that's still a thing. There's still people kind of delayed, making up ground with the fire from AJ Fernandez. So I think that's part of it for him, because I know he had a handful of stuff that he was showing this year, but yeah, I don't think any of it's really shipped. And I feel like most of the reason is because of the fire. But yeah, I think it's all still supposed to come out by the fall. At least, I think it was supposed to be out now, but I think now he's shooting to send most of his stuff out by like September, October, if I remember correctly. Provided I think that everything goes well. So we'll see. And hopefully, the one thing I thought about in regards to the brands that were affected by the fire was, look, I get it. You have timelines, things are happening. Things are rolled, they're resting, they're aging, and then a fire happens, you lose inventory, and then you're like, well, we gotta like get this going because we still want to put this out. And I'm not saying that I expect it to be, and I don't think that people are shitty. That's not because I know people will try to turn it around. I'm just hoping that just in the natural process of like just trying to like make up ground when you've had a setback, which it's human nature, and I've been there too. I'm just hoping that a lot of that stuff, when it comes out, is not underwhelming because maybe, I don't want to say rushed, but like, you lost inventory that you already was supposed to ship now, and now you're trying to make it again so you can still get it out this year. I get it, and I hope that whole thing doesn't like impact those releases, or they ship a little young or something like that, or whatever. I'm hoping that when all of the things impacted by that do ship, I'm hoping that it's still pretty, they still land the way they were intended to land. You know what I mean? Because that does happen, and for the most part, I wouldn't really blame anyone for it. I mean, it's hard you're like, oh, well, they did a shit job on this. Well, you know, it could be a lot of moving pieces from trying to, get back on track, and not that I expect it to, but, just you never know. Sometimes that stuff happens, and there's not any one person. There's a lot of people affected by that fire. So, that's my only thing. I really hope that everyone's stuff comes out and it's the way it was intended and it's good and whatever. JJ had a comment here or a question, and JJ, I will warn you that you're gonna ask this question with Pat, and he's gonna tell you, yeah, you should get it and you should spend every dollar you have. Or maybe, I don't know. I'll let Pat answer for himself. But and while I'll somewhat agree if that's the assessment. Look, at the end of the day, it's subjective, right? There's people out there like Pat who love it. They get tons of it. They collect it. They're always looking for it. And they buy it. There's people out there that have had it and they walk around saying, "Oh, it sucks and it's overrated." That's fine. It's whatever their palate is. It really is up to you. I mean, look, I'll tell you, having smoked a lot of the Arturo Fuente products from Coraline all the way up to some of the most limited cigars they've ever made, in visiting their entire operation in the Dominican Republic, they do a really, really damn good job, from Coraline all the way up. And I smoke all of it. Here, Coraline, this and that. Spread around all the other stuff I smoke. And there's certain things that especially they make very well, like Lanceros. Hard to get because they don't make a lot of them, and they don't really sell them. But like their Lanceros are some of the best Lanceros I've ever smoked. So like there's a lot of stuff that they do really well. If you've never had one and you're curious, if you can get your hands on some of them, definitely try them. Be very open-minded. Get some different things if you can. The Coraline Opus is good. It's probably the most accessible, obviously, but I think it's people who smoke Opus tend to smoke a lot of that plus other stuff. But like I know Pat's always got at least a box of Coraline on hand that he'll actively smoke through. But yeah, try it. And if you don't like it, I mean, it's okay. I mean, not everybody likes Opus X. That's fine. Just like there's not a lot of people. I mean, there's not a lot of people. Not everybody, I should say. A lot of people like Opus X. Not everybody likes Opus X. Just like there's people out there who they don't love Padron, but then a lot of people do love Padron. I mean, it's tricky. It depends on who you ask. You're gonna get a guy who had one Opus and it was a bad experience, and he just went, "No, they all suck." Didn't try it again. He's going to say, "Don't waste your money." You're going to have someone like Pat, even myself, who really enjoy it. I'm going to say, "Yeah, absolutely. Go buy a box of it if you can get it." But, it's really up to you. I would definitely say, definitely go try and find some of it and try it. Absolutely. If you have to spend a little bit more for it, at least try it. At least you'll know. And then, if you love it, then you get sucked into the whirlwind. And if you don't, then, at least give it a few tries. I always tell someone, when you try anything, it doesn't matter what it is, fucking Macanudo, Hampton Court, try it a couple times. If you've never had it and you're really interested in it, try it a few times. Especially if the first time didn't go well. Try it again. Never judge an entire line off of one, even two smokes. Try it 3 times, and if they all 3 suck, then write it off. But, because shit happens. That's my 2 cents on that. And Pat, you obviously chime in here and add to that, but
yeah, I always say it's a lot of people obviously like Fuente and Padron, and to me, like the Opus X line is almost separated from Fuente. I mean, it's Fuente, but it's like to me, it's
yeah.
two different things. Like,
yeah,
I mean, there's a quote from Carlito. I'm not gonna hit it on the dot, but it's like like he puts so much effort and relies on his core line, like the Grand Reservas, the Hemingways, the Don Carloses, so he can have his like Corvette, which is Opus. Like he can kind of play around with it, experiment with it, and it's kind of this fun thing to do. So like it's one of those like core line. So I think Opus is worth it. The way that Fuente intended it to be, right? So if you go to a third party website and there's like a core line, Opus X Robusto for like $80, no. But it's not supposed to be an $80 cigar, and oftentimes people that are against Opus will be like, "Oh, I'm going to get this thing for $80, and it's not worth it. Nothing's worth that, or whatever." Well, that's not what it's supposed to be. Like it's unfortunately it's the same thing as like Buffalo Trace, right? Like Buffalo Trace is a kick-ass $30 bottle, but if you're going to buy it for $60, it's not that Buffalo Trace isn't good, but it's not it's not supposed to be a $60 bottle. Like an Opus is like an core line is like an 18 to or even like a 16 to maybe $25 cigar depending on the sizes, like just a true core line Opus. I think it's worth it in the sense of is all of them worth it? It's one of if you like the Opus DNA, I think it is. And again, you go back to Padron, because again, Opus and Padron are very similar. Like if you like the 1964s from Padron, like we'll take the Exclusivo. I mean, it used to be $13. I think it's like $14.75 now. It's went up $15 maybe. But the Exclusivo is kind of like their pinnacle. Like this is like one of the most bought Padrones, other than the 1000 series, but the Exclusivo. Why would you buy, the Padron 50, which is a $30 cigar? It's double the price as the Exclusivo. It's the same tobacco. It's from the same farm. It's not the same tobacco. It's different primings, different age, but the DNA of it's the same. It's all Nicaraguan, and it's from Padron Farms. So why would you spend the money for the 50 opposed to the Exclusivo? Well, it's genetically the same, but it's different. It's spicier. It's more aged. It has a lot more flavor. There's more intricacies to it. So, but it goes down. If you don't like the 1964 Exclusivo, you're probably not going to like the 50. Even though like the 50 is a better cigar, you have to like the DNA. So it's the same for Opus. It's if you like the core line, then I think the higher options are worth it. If you like the core line, I have a lot of people that love the Opus Blue, and they tell me that they just cannot get through a core line. Which,
I mean, they are very different.
They are very different, but again, the DNA is the same. To me, at least, like it's the same. It's from the same farm, right? Like, and again, I know blends are different. Primings are different. Like, I'm not saying like it's supposed to taste the same, but like the people that like certain rare opuses, I would say it's not worth it, because if you like the core opus, then because that DNA is in every single opus you smoke. Now, like the blue is more of a mild like even like the Angel Share, it's a more mild version of the core line, amongst many other differences. But one of the general things that's easy to identify is that it's not as strong. It's not as spice forward. It doesn't have as much bite. So some people are, like that again, but it's, if a new, or say like the Dubai came out last year, it shipped to the shops in the United States. So a shops maybe got 1 or 2 boxes of the Dubai. And that's one of those, like it's until that was shipped, you could not get the Dubai in the United States, with the exception of some shops might have had a big Fuente charity or something of that nature, and maybe they got a box, but you couldn't get it. In the Dubai, again, it's genetically the same as an opus, like the core line, and I think it's pretty similar to the blue, but it's like, it's hard to. It's like in the middle. It's actually kind of has like a Honduran twang to it, like that kind of earthiness. It's still Dominican, but it's unique. But that Dubai, depending on where you got it from, is I think the MSRP for it's supposed to be like $35. It's supposed to be in line of the blues and the forbiddens, but people were selling it for like 60, 70, $80. If you like Opus, I think it's worth it because it's genetically the same, but it's different. Like those unique characteristics of that cigar. It's a different experience of Opus. But if you don't like Cornline Opus and you're not a huge just generally Opus guy, then it's not worth it. Like the really rare releases aren't worth it. And then as to like the God of Fire, again, like I would take the Don Carlos. Like if you don't like the Don Carlos, the God of Fire is not.
Well, he asked if it's an Opus, and it's not. God of Fire is it's its own brand. It's made by Arturo Fuente. God of Fire is made for Prometheus, which is owned by Keith Park. Which also, like for example, like the Purple Rain, the BBMFs now, Rare Black, Taurus the Bull, all that stuff. Those are Opus X cigars, and those are made as Opus X cigars, but they're actually made and then handed over to Prometheus, and then Keith actually sells them through his humidors and stuff like that. He doesn't sell them loose or in basic boxes. God of Fire is it's not an Opus. It's not branded as Arturo Fuente. It's its own brand. It's made by Arturo Fuente, and there's a Don Carlos, there's a Carlito, the Serie B, which is Nicole's favorite actually. Those are good. Those are good. I mean, if you're an Opus guy, you probably like God of Fire as well. If you've had a God of Fire, then that might help you in making your decision as well. It's different, but they're related. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, interesting question. It's a question that we're definitely not a stranger to. But Pat, let's hit our trivia for this week. I forgot all about our trivia, and then we're gonna wrap up the show because that's it, man. It's gonna be a kind of a short and sweet show tonight. But let's see if I can keep my good performance the last week. Actually, did I do well last week? I can't remember.
I think Carney kind of gave you a couple of them.
Yeah,
last week.
It helps having a friend. Two minds thinking together. But let's see. I just want to try to stay somewhat positive. I don't want to fail. So let's see. Let's see what we got here this week. Keep it to three. Keep it to three. Our trivia, once again, brought to you by Perdomo Cigars. That's right. Perdomo Cigars featuring our Cigar of the Year for 2024. The 30th Anniversary Sun-Grown Epicure. You can buy all of Perdomo Cigars at the number2guyscigars.com. Look at that. 2 for 1. Anyway, what do you got?
So we're going to do cartoon trivia.
Oh, boy. This is going to be like, I'm predicting 50-50 for me.
Cartoons that we would have watched.
Like Family Guy? South Park?
I mean, like when we were kids, like Cartoon Network and stuff
like shit like that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
All right, first one is, what is Scooby-Doo's full name?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I did, and now it's been too long. Scooby-Doo's full name? I don't know. What is it?
Scoobert Doo.
I never would have got that. I don't think I ever. You know what? I don't think I ever. I never even realized it was a full name. I just thought it was Scooby Doo. All right, you got me there. All right, next one. I feel like most people don't know that. Anyway, go ahead.
I didn't know it, to be honest with you.
All right, that makes me feel better.
This one I didn't know, though. In the Flintstones, what is the name of Fred's best friend?
Barney Rubble.
Yep.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
What is? Here we go. What is the name of Yogi Bear's little sidekick?
Boo Boo.
Yep, it's Boo Boo.
Yeah, keep these rolling.
All right, this is an easy one if you watched it. In Ed, Edd and Eddy, what is the gang's ultimate goal?
See, I never really was into that. I think Nicole was. Their ultimate goal. I don't know. What was it?
To get jawbreakers.
Uh,
You don't remember that? Yeah,
I wasn't really big into that show.
known.
Yeah, because I didn't really. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Give me one more. Just give me one more. I can see you're like analyze. You're like, it's got to be good. I can read it on your face.
I'm trying to get a good
Your
one. here.
your mustache is flaring because you're thinking. You're like, hmm.
I'm trying to get a good one here. They're all like ones that.
Are you trying to get a good one, or are you trying to? I inhaled that. Fuck. Ooh, not all the way. But I drew that in, and then I went to ask you a question, and I went, it sucked at it.
I could ask you what the full name of Shaggy from Scooby Doo is, but I read the answer and I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm probably not. I didn't even know Scooby Doo had a full name.
Yeah, I mean this doesn't count, but just Norville Rogers is Shaggy.
Who the fuck's
Let me
saying
know
that?
if you've ever heard that.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I did not know that. Baby boomers who watched Scooby Doo way back in the day would probably know that, but not us.
I feel like that's like really old school stuff, maybe. All right, well, shit. These are all like ones that are like so easy. I'm trying to.
If you don't have another one, it's fine. I was enjoying feeling like I was on a roll.
All right, what is the name of the evil scientist in Phineas and Ferb?
Oh, I never watched that show.
Um,
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't watch it. It wasn't for me. Actually, I feel like that came out.
Which
came out, like-
Nickelodeon show? This one you should have. Which Nickelodeon show featured a football-headed boy?
Oh, Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's end it there. I feel good now. I feel like I got most of them. The Scooby Doo ones are both like kind of the same question with two different characters and both in things that I would never know. And I don't think most people would know that, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
Anyway, well, that was our trivia this week, brought to you by Perdomo Cigars. Yeah, I think we're gonna sign off there. It's been a good show. It's been fun, but now it's time to retire for the night. Thank you all for watching and listening. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts and on our YouTube channel. I want to thank Pat for being here with me once again this week. And as always, head to SmokinTabacco.com for more news, reviews, and updates from the cigar industry. And with that, we say goodnight, and we'll see you next time. Take care.